Welcome back to another episode of Psycosmos. Today we're going to answer more questions. This one is from non-time Bamala 779. I'm so sorry if I get these names wrong. Love what you guys do. Read your books from cover to cover twice. I need some advice on TRT, which is, I believe, testosterone replacement therapy, and the sacred secretion. Would being on replacement testosterone affect the process in any way? I want the SS to play a major role in my life. I'm just worried that being on TRT might ruin this in some way. Thank you. I mean, that is a really great question. How do hormones play into the sacred secretion process? And if I had my partner in crime, Coach Richard, here, I'm sure he could even explain this better than me, because he's really the guy that I use when it comes to the information surrounding hormones and hormone therapy treatments, and how hormones like androgens, estradiol, and testosterone affect the sacred secretion process. So number one, this is just a blanketed thing. Every single hormone in our bodies, male or female, comes from androgens. So androgens are basically like this, if you want to think of it this way, it's like the stem cells of hormones. They start off as an androgen, androgynous, right? Like not having either male or female characteristics, and then they eventually evolve into something. Men need something called estradiol. This is the precursor to estrogen, and women need testosterone. Both of our bodies actually do function off of this. Now, when it does come to hormones, hormones play a very integral role in the regulation of the sacred secretion process. A lot of what tells our body to undergo the process is hormonally linked. It's really more energetically linked, but I mean, that goes with everything, right? You have the people in the scientific community that say everything is just a chemical stimulus. Oh, I smell this, it's a chemical. I do this, but it's not. Everything starts as a light or magnetic based stimulus. Everything is an electrical impulse or a magnetic impulse in some way, shape, or form. What do I mean by this? A feeling will give off a magnetic impulse, and then it will spur a chemical release. More something that is sense based, so your five senses, which would be your sight, your smell, your taste, your touch, your hearing. Those are more electrical based. Maybe touch is kind of magnetic based, but it doesn't matter. There's a stimulus that is being activated there, which is going to allow the chemicals to be produced in the brain, and then you're going to have the reaction, blah, 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 blah. This is really just the hermetic principle of cause and effect, seeing the causes into the effect. Going back to the question, because I want to make these videos short, would TRT affect the sacred secretion? Yes, but will it impact it negatively? Probably not, and here's why. Because it depends on the sacred secretion process and the cycle of the body really depends on your stability with your own body. If you put yourself into a cyclical process and you are able to build your habits in a productive way where your body expects things pretty regularly, and you're able to hone in on those cycles of life, and this is one of the things we talk about in our life coaching program. You have to understand your cycles: daily cycles, weekly cycles, monthly cycles, yearly cycles. What are for example, a yearly cycle, you got to pay taxes every year. Most people in the Americas and the Western world pay taxes. You have to pay taxes every year, right? You got to pay rent every month. You got to pay your water bill. You get your bi-weekly paycheck. We all have these cycles, and we all live based off of these cycles. Those are external, but the internal cycles are really what matter. So when you get down to the fundamentals of this, if you're on TRT, it depends. How long have you been on it? Maybe the first couple of months is going to be pretty rocky. Your body might not be in the same cycle. I mean, the perfect example of this is birth control. When a woman goes on birth control, she is taken out of her menstruation ovulation cycles. It regulates, which in fact I think it destroys their cycles. Now that doesn't mean that you can't take birth control, and I'm not going to tell you what you can do with your body. This is not medical advice. But the point is, we have seen a 1-for-1 discrepancy with women who take birth control and a rise in depression, anxiety, stress, etc., etc., etc. It's because it is pumping their bodies full of estrogen and estrogen-related hormones that turn off or turn on the ovulatory cycle of the body. And this regulates, but it doesn't really regulate anything. In fact, what this is doing is it's taking women out of their natural cycle. So if you're on birth control, not medical advice, coaching, life advice, from the amount of experience that I've had working with women, I highly advise that you find an alternative to mouth-related birth control. I don't even remember what the right term is for that. But anyway, TRT, it depends. How long have you been taking it? What is the dosage? How much has this impacted or affected you? If you are on TRT because your body needs more testosterone, for example, let's say you're low T count, you have a low T count, then that might be something that could assist the process. If you're trying to undergo like a transitionary phase where you're, let's say hypothetically, you were born in a female body but you are trying to become a man, that will absolutely affect the sacred secretion process. I hope that wasn't offensive or the way that I explained it, yada yada, but that will absolutely impact the sacred secretion process. Why? Because your body for many years has been doing this for one way for so long. It is going to take a very long time for your body to readjust to this new process and this new way of living. Is it impossible? No. Our bodies are very adaptable. Is it difficult? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is, I think, why we're seeing such a rise in depression among people who are making transitions. I don't think it's really a societal thing as much as it is an internal processing thing. This involves, again, the 7-stage system, which I've brought up in the past. We have a 7-form system. And one of the biggest aspects of the forms is the physical body. The physical body has to be in a state of regulatory perfection. What do I mean by that? And I mean, you have to get your cycles down. And if you are doing anything that disrupts those cycles, for example, something as simple as over-consuming fast food, because of all the chemicals that are in the fast food, it's going to regulate your body's hormonal cycles in a much different way. Even something as simple as over-consuming sugar. You have a little bit of gelato for dessert. That might be a different story, especially if you're over-consuming the gelato and you're eating dessert every single day. Your body's going to get used to that sugar. It's going to start storing that as fat. You're gonna probably go up in weight, especially the older that you are, because of the metabolic effect and blah 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 blah. On the flip side, let's take a look at people who don't eat a lot of sugar, but then they overconsume, they binge on sugar every once in a while. Well, that actually is going to play a massive fluctuation in the hormones that are occurring in that person's body. They're going to get this sugar rush. And it can do anything from making you really sexually stimulated. It can make you really lethargic. It can make you really tired. It can make you really wired, and then you could crash. There's a lot of different outcomes that will happen from that. So, I mean, it really depends on a lot of things, but you have to maintain your body and you have to maintain your regulations to a certain level. So I hope that helps. My name is Coach Matt. I am a certified spiritual professional life coach. I'm a master life coach. You can go check out all of our plans. Probably by the time I make this video, I won't be able to take any more clients. My prices are going up. So if you're interested, go check out some of our content. Go fill out some applications. We'll potentially work with you. Coach Richard and Coach Tyler still have availabilities. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to hearing from you guys, and we love you very much. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.